the hat and scarf is gone. Remember yesterday? This is the statue where hats and gloves and scarves are, so you can just take them. Now they're gone. Just keep warm. Still don't understand it though. Trying to get some the final edits done. Is that a unicorn? Get my woosah mood in. Get some headspace. It's like I found a Wi-Fi spot too. Was 81 at the beginning of the day. And the old ale house right aside from it. So check it out. And there it is. It's pretty awesome. You see a nice 1950s look. Mr. Hamburger Face. See, it doesn't look much different. He looks like this is a pretty speedy guy too. The old McDonalds. But this place got one thing going for it. It's the architecture. I'm telling you what, they got some really nice looking buildings. And those ones that held up, you can actually see some like church fort over there. The old ale house. What looks like a barrel. Oh, that's beautiful, I'm telling you what.
You've heard of the Hotel California, but have you heard of the Hotel Bethlehem?
This hotel right here is where the original house sat in 1942. Now, the Bethlehem Hotel. Once owned by Bethlehem Steel, who in the 1920s had a subsidiary which was Lackawanna Iron and Coal, which was owned by the Scrantons, George, Selden, we know the likes, who at that point lived in Lackawanna, New York. It's the only company I can think of that has two places named after it, both Scranton for the Scranton brothers and Lackawanna, a suburb of Buffalo. But as Bethlehem Steel itself began to create less steel, they cut loose Lackawanna Iron and Coal in 1982, ending this Scranton and Steel empire that was alive for 142 years, at once the second biggest in the world. And cutting this one loose, cutting all their ties that weren't super important, kind of like Twitter. And their vine cutting all the vines, like they're in the forest, like some sort of Bear Grylls. Gotta cut all these vines. I got me machete. Yeah, so all the guys that do their 6-second clips, gone, Vine's gone. I don't know why. I thought Vine was pretty successful. I mean, I wasn't really a super fan of it. I'm a YouTuber, not a Viner, but I guess all the Viners are just gonna have to make 6 seconds videos on YouTube now. All of Pennsylvania really did a lot of coaling and ironing. Not really anymore, but they still do make a lot of cool things. Like Martin guitars, Crayola crayons, and Mack trucks. The Tannery. This is where people came if they wanted to get tan before. There were no tanning beds. They would come to the tannery and a man would actually start painting you the color you wanted to be. Now, the problem with that is your skin can't breathe and you're slowly gonna die. But for some people, looks are everything, so they took the risk. And then shortly after, they died because they only took showers once a year. We would make many different hides in this building called the Tannery. Many different hides with the adjacent butcher shop, which is now pretty butchered itself. They would get many a hide, and they'd use the trees from the forest to make their tannic oil, which they would need in the tanning process to make different colored leathers and hides. Because even back then, you always gotta be fashionable. You always gotta come with your finest furs. Definitely butchered. And this is the dye shop before there were hospitals, you would actually just go into a building and die because they couldn't do anything for you. They used to make dyes for your clothing in here using all natural type of stuff. Whoever would do the milling in the mill house, making grain into flour, would live in the Miller house. Anyone with the last name Miller was probably a miller, just like last name Baker. Probably a baker. Back in the days, your last name probably determined what you were going to do. But my name is actually Patrick YouTube, so I gotta do it. I gotta represent. Ask for flour, and we'll mill you up some fine grains because we're the millers. Wearing white after Labor Day? That used to be a crime back then. You used to get thrown in jail with no possibility for parole. But nowadays, people just flaunt their white. They say, ha, I'm gonna wear white after Labor Day. Always nice to know your history when you come to a town. Ponytail alert. With the ponytail family, you know? Don't cut the sides off your ponytail. Go full ponytail, man. Come on, represent, oh boy. Or you could just let it all down like Fabio. Let it go in the wind. Or you could be that horse. I wanna know what love is. Next to the rails, I don't think you could actually be any closer, is a restaurant that looks like a train station. And you've got another one right over there. With its train station-esque hangover. And it's pretty nice gothic looking roof. Certainly is a hell of a sight from afar as these ladies throw away their trash. The old train station where you could purchase your tickets, stay warm. There's actually a train car right there. They're walking past. Right there, the train tracks. Now I just gotta find my way back to where I parked because it's starting to rain. Whoa. I should join horse class. These are the same dormitories this college sits on now. Are the same dormitories that used to sit the first all-women boarding school. There used to be strict parents back then too. You're not dating anyone till you're 25. That's what I say. And it's gonna be an arranged marriage. But these beautiful leaves definitely in the backdrop. I think Henry's a nice guy for you. I don't like Henry. Well, you're gonna marry him. As I try and make my way back to the library. Hell yeah, I remember for once. I'm semi-proud of myself. With the old brick buildings everywhere. This building is just seeping with old. Seeping with 1800, 1700-ness. As it continues to rain. Mr. Guitar Man has an umbrella. Almost there with these old shutters, old bricks, stones, doors. Really old door. At least old looking. That's right. Ugh, my sanctuary. We made it, ladies and gents. We made it. Bikers chose the wrong day to pedal themselves to their destination. Because they're gonna need to hop in a dryer when they get there. But if they had Back to the Future clothes, it'd be a different story. clothes are drying. Packed up with cars tonight. All just sleeping here. RVs, I don't think I've ever seen this many. Along with me, just with my door open. Like I don't know how to close the door. What's wrong with me anyway?